Hi, McKenna. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Um, so before we start off, I just wanted to go over the confidentiality. Like we discussed the last time, anything that you say will be between us, but if there's something that comes up that I am concerned about that, you might hurt yourself or someone else, um, or anything like that, I would have to report it. But otherwise, it would stay between us. So the last time we talked, I know that you had said that you just moved in with your boyfriend. How is that going?
It's great.
Did you, I know that you said that you were wanting to try to set up a like chore chart. Did you get a chance to do that?
If I'm being honest with you, we did not discuss a chore chart.
Did
Um,
you? I'm sorry.
we have really let the apartment kind of get really bad. Neither one of us are doing a lot. So, um, yeah, we actually kind of were bickering about it a little bit last night. He said he felt like I was attacking him, but it's because he's dirty. So,
What do you mean by um what did you what was the discussion like? I know you said he felt attacked.
well, so we ate dinner really late last night, which is like it's fine. It was a Saturday night, so he made himself peanut butter and banana on toast for dinner. And I walked into the kitchen to put my plate in the sink because he had ran the dishwasher, so I couldn't put my plate in the dishwasher. And I like noticed something on the counter and I thought it was a crumb from like his toast. No, it was peanut butter. So I like ran my finger across it and then had peanut butter on my finger. So I like he was standing there and I was like I showed him and I was like, "Justin, this is what I mean. Like you leave the counter dirty all the time." And he was like, "No." And I was like, "Yes, you do. Like, I come in here and you've made your coffee, and there's either like a splash of coffee on the counter, and it just sits here until I wipe it up." And I was like, "You never like wipe the counters." I was like, "I don't like understand that." And he was like, "Yes, I do." And I was like, "How many times have you wiped the counters since we moved in here together?" And he's like, "A couple of times." And I'm like, "So, no, you don't." And then
Right.
I had asked him because I microwaved something for him, uh, Sloppy Joe. I reheated Sloppy Joe in a little dish to make him dinner, and it exploded in the microwave. And I'm not tall enough to like reach at the top of the microwave. So I asked him, I was like, "Hey, I tried to wipe this up, but I'm not really tall enough to like get in there. Can you clean the microwave?" And when I asked, I thought he was going to do it like within the day. Well, then I came back from work one day and it was still dirty. So last night I opened the microwave and I was like, "This is the third time I'm saying something about how nasty our microwave is. Why didn't you do this today?" And he's like, "I don't know. Like, I'll get to it. I'll get to it. Why are you attacking me right now?" I'm like, "I'm just pointing out things that are bothering me." And then he was like, "Well, I can list a bunch of things that bother you." And I was like, "Do not do that right now." It's like, I don't want to hear that. So, yeah, we don't like argue. We just like bicker back and forth, and it's our way of communicating. Like, they're like funny, like jab conversations that we have. It's just, I start to feel overwhelmed when I like feel like I'm unloading the dishwasher a lot. I'm like making dinner and like dishes just get put in the sink and the dishwasher sits for days. So I know the chore chart will really help. I just haven't had the chance to like sit down and do it because it feels super overwhelming with everything else I have in my life, which I feel like sounds kind of stupid now that I say it out loud because it's just writing down chores. But I guess to actually face the issues is like one thing, I guess.
It's definitely not stupid. I totally get it. You sound like you have a lot going on. And you obviously are very overwhelmed.
Mhm.
Um, but have you had a chance to just, I know you said that you guys kind of make jabs at each other, but have you had an opportunity to just sit down and have a discussion about your expectations for each other?
No, we haven't done that. So I definitely think we need to, because we've been tackling like certain things at a time, and I guess a recent thing we've been tackling is like budgeting like our incomes together. Um, and he has ADHD. So it is really hard to get him to sit down and like listen to exactly what I have to say. And like I've known this about him. But I am like da 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 da, like a planner, like through and through. And he is not. And when I come at him with questions about like the future and like that things that could help us in the long run, he oftentimes is like, that's too far. That's a lot for me to think about right now. Like I can't think that far. Which then it stresses me out and it like makes me not want to have the conversation and then I live day by day. But I really have a hard time sometimes of keeping myself accountable. Like I'll come home from work and I'll notice how messy the apartment is, and I'm just like, oh, I don't want to do this right now. And then I just go sit on the couch and I watch TV because I don't want to do it either.
Well, and I get not wanting to get off work and just jump into doing chores. That's understandable. I know that you had said before that when you got off work that and you said just now that you like to sit down and watch TV. Uh, did you, and when we discussed it the last time, you'd said that you were planning on trying to take that time to kind of decompress from your day, and then maybe do, a chore or two before dinner.
Mhm.
Have you been able to do that at all?
Yeah, so if I'm cooking dinner, I'm really good about like if the dishwasher is full, I will unload the dishwasher and then put the dishes that are in the sink in the dishwasher because I don't like to cook in a messy kitchen.
Right.
Whereas if Justin's preparing dinner, which he has a couple times, he doesn't really do that, and then I kind of like get the repercussions of it. It's not that he like ex when we first moved in together, I guess we had a good flow of like I was cooking dinner and then I would like load all of our stuff in the dishwasher because I knew it was unloaded. And then he would wash like the pots and pans. Like that's just kind of the agreement that we had and that was going well. So maybe we should go back to that, but I've just not wanted to cook recently, so he's kind of taken over that. But he doesn't unload the dishwasher before he starts cooking or like clean the kitchen before he starts. And I don't think he does it intentionally. I just think he doesn't think the way that my brain does. Uh,
Right.
so I probably could have a conversation with him about that, or if I know he's cooking dinner, I probably could, because I get an hour break for lunch. So instead of like, as much as I love sitting on the couch and eating my lunch and watching TV, like during my hour break, but I guess I could only do that for 30 minutes, and then the other 30 minutes I could go like unload the dishwasher if he's especially if he's cooking that day, so it's already pre-done. done, so there's not so
Yeah.
much to do. Um, like when we're preparing dinner together.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah.
So, um, so for this next week, um, do you want to work then on trying to set aside time to have that discussion? I know it's probably going to be very uncomfortable. But I think it's important because if, you guys want to make sure that you're on the same page so that you don't feel like all the responsibility is on your shoulders.
Yeah, I will talk to him about it. It's not that it's going to be an uncomfortable conversation because of him. It's me. I don't like getting called out on stuff that I'm like doing wrong. Like, I know that I do these things and like I shouldn't do them and I can pick them up. Like, I'll, here's an example. Like, at night when we're watching TV together, I will take my socks off because my feet are too hot, and then I just leave them in the living room, and they will just stay there. They just stay there. I know that they're there. There's like two pair out there right now, and that is something that he called me out on. Now, when I take my socks off at night, I fully know that I should pick them up and bring them to the dirty clothes hamper. And I just don't do it. I don't like, and that is a me thing. And he like called me out for it last night. And I was like, I don't want to hear it. And I think I just need to be more perceptive that he's not calling me out on it to be mean. It's because it's genuinely stuff that bothers him as well. It's just hard for me because I came out of a very nasty roommate situation before living with him. And she would never tell me when I was doing something wrong. And then I would sit down with her and I'd be like, well, you're doing this that bothers me. And like, can we do this to be better in the apartment? You leave dishes in the sink all the time. Like, I don't feel like I need to clean up your dishes, which I feel different about Justin because we're in a relationship together and we're
Right.
together. So it doesn't bother me as much. But whenever I would bring those things up to her, she would just lash out at me and go, well, you do this and you do this and you're this way. And she would call me all these terrible names. So I think part of me, there's that. Like, that's why I'm scared because of the trauma
Y-
that she caused me.
Yeah, the prior experience. Are you afraid that maybe he is going to lash out at you if you bring things to his attention? Not because of just because of, your prior experience.
See, Justin is a different person and I know that,
Yeah.
but I do have like really bad anxiety. And I think because she's done that to me, part of my like anxious brain thinks that he will do that, but I know who he is as a person, and I know he won't approach it the way that she would. I just think
Right.
there's that anxiety part where I just need to step into it and like see that for myself.
Right.
But I have this like little chatter in the back of my head that's like, no, he's gonna tell you that you're disgusting and like all of these things because those are literally like name calling is what she did to me in the past. And he's never
Yeah.
name called me. It's just when you have that, it's hard to kind of want to do those things when you have that past experience.
Yeah, that's understandable.
Hmm.
I think that, like you said, I think that you'll feel better about it once you actually do it and see that he's not going to respond in the same way.
Hmm.
So for our next session, um, well, today we discussed your chore chart setting that up and also you having that discussion with him about your expectations for each other. Does moving forward, is there anything else that you would want to add to that, or is that a good goal to set for our next, look at for our next session?
Um, no, I think the chore chart, I definitely want it. Maybe that's like in the conversation, we can kind of do that all in one.
Yeah.
Um, just so he knows that I'm trying to like better everything. I do think I really also kind of want to work on my own motivation. So I think if like for my break during work, if I come home, like, because 30 minutes is enough to eat lunch and watch TV. So I probably should like clean up a little bit for 30 minutes when I first come home and then eat. Um, I think I want to start trying to do that as too. So that's a goal that I would like to try to add as well to work on until our next session.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, that sounds great. So, um, so is there any concerns or anything that you have?
No, I really appreciate your suggestion of the chore chart. It's just life the past couple of weeks have has felt super like overwhelming with work, being a student, and then I have a lot of different medical things going on right now. Um, so I just haven't had the chance to sit down. So part of me worries that I'm not gonna want to sit down this time to have that conversation with him because as much as it should be a priority in my mind, sometimes it's not a priority, and then I get like mad that neither one of us are making it a priority. And like I know that he feels the same way about the apartment, like it being messy, because he says stuff too. And like neither one of us do anything about it because we both have a lot going on, and I think we're both trying to figure out like how to manage the apartment with a full-time job and like being in a
What
relationship.
what does his schedule look like?
So he says it's work, but it's his internship. He on Monday, he's at his internship from like 10:30 to 3. Tuesday, he's there from 10:30 to 3, maybe 10:30 to 5 because he does group with like students. Wednesday he doesn't go. Thursday it's the same as Tuesday, so like 10:30 to 5. And then Friday he's off again. So he has more time during the week
Right.
than I do. Yeah.
Does he do anything around the apartment on his days off?
Mm, mm, no, no, maybe. Not really. I don't think so.
Well, so what day of the week then? I know you said he's off on Wednesdays and Fridays. It sounds like that might be one of, you know, one of those 2 days might be better for you guys to sit down and talk.
Yeah, that's true. I'll have to like tell him that I want to have the conversation so he can prepare himself. I also think like he folds his own laundry and he like washes his own laundry. So like he does do that like on Wednesdays and Fridays, but like he he's like, no, I did that, and then like he stops. And it's just it's not enough all the time.
Right. Yeah.
Um, like I come home and like the dishwasher is not unloaded or dishes are still in the sink and I'm like, but you were home all day. And I did say it to him last night. I was like, Justin, because he's still in college, like he was on spring break this week. So I was like, you were home. You didn't have your internship. You were off the whole entire week. I'm like, you could have addressed things in the apartment while I was
Right.
at work. And he was like, oh, yeah, that's true. And I was like, yeah, I shouldn't have to say that to a grown man.
Right. Yeah, I understand. I've had similar experience too. So,
Men.
but yes. But um maybe um the visual aid of the chore chart too will help him to see the things that even though it may seem obvious to you. I know you said he has ADHD, so maybe the visual aid of the chore chart to see what things that he needs to take care of, then maybe he can check those off and he can feel accomplished. And
That is a really great suggestion because I was actually gonna do like that with meal plans of like what he can cook and like buy one of those, like a thing for the refrigerator so he knows exactly what he's cooking that day. Because for me, I like can think it in my head and then I know exactly what ingredients I need to have, where
right,
he needs it like verbatim. And it is because that's such a good thing to point out. And I often lose sight of it, of him having ADHD, and I don't have it
right,
where I can think everything I need to do and I don't need step by step. But I visually for him, yeah, having the visual chore chart. So it's like Justin vacuum this day, Justin do this day. Like, so it's
right.
done. Yeah. And like his mom has even said stuff like that to me too. Like growing up, he had to have a list and he followed the list like top to bottom and checked everything off. So when you said that, it kind of made that memory pop up. So yeah, I'll
Well,
definitely, yeah.
it sounds like that would be helpful.
Hmm.
So for our next session, then you will you'll um, be able to maybe sit down and talk with him and make that chore chart. And then also, you said that on your lunch breaks that you were going to try to break those up and work on some housework part of the time, and then take
Hmm.
your break for yourself the other part. Is there anything else that you wanted to discuss?
No, I think the things that we kind of talked about today like made me feel excited and like hopeful that it can be worked on. I think I just need to kind of remember that him and I are two different people and I may think a certain way, but his brain works differently than mine, and it's something that I think I've always kind of struggled with him having ADHD, and with my anxiety. So the chore chart will definitely help, and then I think having that conversation will help, and then doing stuff during my work will make it so it's not so overwhelming for him either, because I don't want him to feel overwhelmed or want him to like think that I'm giving him like a ton of housework.
Right. Okay. Well, I will send you over a link for our next appointment, and I look forward to seeing how everything goes between now and then.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.